What's up, everybody? What's
What's
up? What's up?
good? What's
What's
good?
happening? It's your boy Wildcard Mar, Detroit man. We back here with another episode of I Often Wonder.
19.
But no, please, we appreciate the love and the support.
Right.
Y'all keep go ahead and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that.
Right.
So definitely hit that like, share, subscribe buttons. Hit
Mm-hmm,
that bell
mm-hmm.
notification.
Bing.
Let you know every time we drop a new episode of your favorite podcast, gang.
Gang.
But no, y'all do that. Y'all continue to show us a love and support, and we will continue to keep dropping you this great content. But most importantly, please go to your respective app store, whether it is the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Download the IOW Network app. You see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Go do it. Got a lot of great content on there. Of course,
Scrang.
I Often Wonder podcast is on there. We got Air Paradoxical, White Vault, LJ Presents.
Right.
And of course, you know, wrestling here, we got the Dirty Heels on there. So
Right.
check it out. Got a lot of great music from a lot of mainstream artists as well as independent artists that are on their grind and hustle, providing us with great
Grind.
artistry. They on their
Right.
grind.
And to that young lady backstage, you don't know who I was? I'm Rick James, bitch.
Cocaine, a hell of a drug, man. Anyway,
right.
as always, we're coming to y'all with another topic.
Right.
And Mel came to me with this one, and you know, is as a father, I'm thinking like, damn, like this shit crazy. I don't know how this came about, but
I was like torn.
yeah, but there's a down in Texas, it's two teen brothers and a friend of theirs. They're going to be charged with murder because they left their stepdad for dead out in a field. They beat him up and left him pretty much for dead
Mm-hmm.
after their 9-year-old sister alleged that he inappropriately touched her. And so
Mm.
that was their reaction to the situation. Left them out there in the field, and man, to me, it starts all crazy. As in, why is this grown man being left alone with a 9-year-old? And I understand he's the stepfather,
Right.
but you know, when he's not blood related, like you still kind of need to. I'm not saying that he is a pedophile or nothing like that, but still, you still, have some kind of ear to the street of what's going on in your house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if this is true, that he inappropriately touched a 9-year-old, obviously he's a sick and disgusting bastard, and I might get in trouble for what I might say, but if he's inappropriately touching young girls, then he kind of got what he
He
deserved.
inappropriately touched himself.
I'm just saying he kind of got what he deserved.
Yeah.
There might be people that might not like what I had to say right there, but I have young daughters, and if anybody touched them inappropriately, I don't blame them two teenage boys for protecting their family
Right.
like that, because thank God I never had to been in that situation yet, and hopefully I never do.
Right.
But whoever is inappropriate touching my daughters, you better get right with your maker, because
You
I'm at
better
to
be.
send you to him.
You'll be touching his hollow point.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not legally registered to carry for nothing.
Right.
I'm gonna protect my kids at all costs.
All costs.
All costs, and I'll deal with the consequences and repercussions later.
I hear you, bro.
Because
So
I'm man enough to deal with that.
right. Oh, okay. So I came across the thing.
Yeah.
It was for something else. It was a comment from something else, but it was right on point. It said, "On God." I was like, "Am I live? Okay, look. Am I live?" I think I am live now. I'm looking at it. Well, it is what it is. It was supposed to be live, but we live today. But anyway, I'll say record only. All right. I want to say all right. But anyway, so give a little more context to the story. Well, let me speak to what you said earlier. Then I get into that.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate thing when you are, especially a female, and you and the baby daddy no longer together, and you decide to venture out and get into another relationship. That's that dynamic you got to deal with, because now y'all become a blended family. Especially if y'all get married, you become a blended family. And unfortunately, it may be situations where you have to leave your child with a stepfather, because you might be a working situation, whatever.
Yeah.
And you unfortunately have to trust someone else around your child. And you hope everybody put their best foot forward, especially, in the beginning. So you may not see no signs in the beginning, all that stuff, think you can trust them, then this happens. That's devastating on all ends. The child suffers mentally.
Yeah.
The mother suffers, because now she's feeling like, I let my child down.
Yeah.
I didn't protect her. I left her with this monster. And that's why sometimes you see some women might not date until their child is of age. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, that this happens. Now, I'll give a little context to the story. This man had a warrant for multiple molestations.
So she knew what kind of dude she was messing with.
So I don't know. So when I read the story, it didn't say it was prior to them being together, or it was multiple times with that same child. It wasn't clear on that. So I don't know if he touched her multiple times, or he had a arrest warrant for other incidents outside of that. But one time is too much. Whatever the first time was, he should have been dealt with then.
Yep.
It shouldn't even got to where it's multiple.
Yeah.
The two teenage boys confronted him at home. They get in an altercation. They beat him down there. He takes off running on foot. They chase him on foot. They catch him again, beat him down again. And then a friend shows up. They get in the car, find him again, and they beat him down a third time. By this time, they put him in the back of the truck, or the trunk. I can't remember if it was the trunk or the truck.
It was a truck, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and drop him in a ditch and leave him for dead. And they say they beat him up with some brass knuckles. So when I read the story, your parental and fatherly instincts kick in. You like, I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But then you dig deep into it.
All right.
When you keep, so he's retreating, and this is where these young kids is going to get in trouble at.
Right.
It's because he's retreating.
He's retreated,
and they keep following and him down.
Right.
And so
it's a crime of passion.
Yeah, it is. But that's what's going to be the nail in the coffin.
Right. They might have been okay if they would say, we showed up, we responded to like trying to protect our sister. We beat them up. It might have got a simple assault.
Yeah.
And made the judgment have leniency on, hey man, I understand. He might have said those words, I'm just saying. And they might have been okay. But the fact that they did it 3 times, then add a third party into it, and then left them for dead by law. We're not talking about morality. We're talking about legality.
Yeah.
By law, that's where they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Yeah. Big time.
And trust me, that's why I couldn't be on a jury like this. Because they start asking me questions on the selection, I'm like, I ain't guilty. I'm saying, I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I got shit.
He guilty. I'm the wrong one to put in this one, because we ain't gotta go through the whole thing. Guilty's already in my head. As soon as we get back to the back, guilty vote.
Yeah.
It's a guilty vote.
Sir, we haven't deliberated yet.
That's right. Guilty vote. You know what I'm saying?
Guilty. That nigga is guilty.
Right. Now, as far as the teenage boys, if I was on their trial, I'd be like, not guilty. Or some kind of leniency. Let me say that. I would try to. They need some kind of leniency. I would want to put them away for life.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to answer because they broke a law. They have to answer for their crimes. I understand that.
Yes.
But I wouldn't want to put away for life, because I know you can talk to 10 people, at least 9 out of 10, or maybe 8 out of 10 will say, hey, I'm doing something to my man.
Oh, you looking at one right here?
You know what I'm saying?
I'd have handled
But
it.
you already got 2 out of 10 right now, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Buster,
You know what I'm
brother
saying?
got to get handled, dog.
You
He
gotta
got to
get
get
handled,
handled.
man.
Hey,
So go ahead.
but this kind of speaks to another situation. If he already has prior warrants, prior
Mm-hmm.
the law is already searching for him
Mm-hmm.
for similar situations. You why are you searching for him? Why don't you already have this man apprehended and off the streets? Like
Lost
like
too slow,
like
man.
like this is where the justice system is failing as a whole, is because you're
Mm-hmm.
not keeping the wrong people behind bars.
Right.
They're still in the streets, so that's the jacked up part of the system. But on
Mm-hmm.
the flip side of that, if a regular citizen takes the job that you pay your taxpayers police to do, and they're
Right.
not doing it, and now I have to feel like I'm in a situation where I have to uphold the law because this
Right.
dude is doing wrong, and well, ain't nobody else taking care of the problem. Well, let
Right.
me take care of it because he's affecting my 9-year-old sister, or
Right.
in my case, my 4 and 6-year-old daughter. I
Right.
At that point, I'm taking law into my own hands, so I'll deal with the repercussions later.
And it's like you have to make a decision, your freedom over
Yeah,
following the law, which I think is crazy. You know, I mean, it's one of those things where you in on a situation, my man is jeopardizing your freedom.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, in some ways, if I gotta go out, I might as well go all the way out. You know, yeah, I beat him up, but then I get an assault charge and he goes free. Then what?
Yeah. Then it was all for nothing, and now I'm sitting
It's all
behind
for
bars
nothing.
with an assault charge.
I'm sitting behind bars. He chilling, able to do it again.
Mm.
You know, so I understand. Trust me, I understand where they coming from. It's disgusting. You know, and I think one of the other points, going back to what I was saying, you know, earlier, when you are a single parent with children,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now, and I'm not saying that boys don't get molested by women. It happens.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? It happens. And you know, so I'm not, you're in a slippery slope
It is.
because you can still mess a young boy up too, and by molest them as a woman. You can. You know, it happens. But, you know, it just seemed more heinous, and maybe because I'm a man, when you do it to a little girl. You just seem like see, I'm trying to choose my words because if I say it seems like you taking a innocence, then it seems like I'm not saying you're not taking a little boy innocence either. You know what I mean?
Well, just as a whole, if an adult is taking the innocence away from a young person, it's
Mm-hmm.
wrong. Period.
It's wrong.
Whether it's a young boy or a young girl, it's
Right.
wrong all around.
All around. It is. And that's the hard part of being a single parent. That's the part, you know, we discuss, you know, we hear the discussion about the financial situation, how to try to, you know, my mom had to work 2 or 3 jobs to get us through, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we have multiple, so you have multiple siblings, you know, we had to share shoes, you know, all that part. But the part you don't hear about, because as kids, we see our parents as parents. We don't see them as a 25-year-old or 30-year-old female
Still trying to figure
single
it out
who trying to
themselves.
figure it out, who have needs.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not just talking about sexual needs, but sometimes you just want companionship. You know, someone else to talk to besides a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and you say, well, okay, I see so and so, he seems to be cool. You bring him into your life, and then, you know, he becomes he ends up being a monster.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate part. Cause think about it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. As a man, you put your best foot forward, because with I heard Deion Cole say this joke. He was saying, you don't hear no other dude calling you, hey man, let's go to the club. There's a whole lot of wives down there. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's go to here. It's a whole lot of relationships I'm trying to get in. You like, hey, let's go to the club. They shaking some ass and I'm trying to get some pussy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So you put on your best face so you can reach that goal. And if it ends up in a relationship, that's just like, okay, I just fell into that. You know what I'm saying? That's not your mindset, especially as you're a young man going out. That's not your mindset. And I'm not saying all men, because some men may be looking for that, but in general, most guys I talk to, that's their mindset. As a young man. So you baby dealing with that at the beginning. You know, he all nice and charming and this and that because he has an end goal. And then once he gets what he want, then you start getting relaxed. Then that's when the monster come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if he's a predator, you know, he's really scheming up on how he can be alone with your child to do what he needs to do. And that's the scary part, man. That is the frightening part because, you know, you're trusting this person, you think you're in a good relationship, and that happens. And there's no meter that goes off and say, you know, predator, you know, you don't get that.
Yeah.
And you have to all rely on instincts. And I mean, you know, it's unfortunate that 3 lives or 5 lives, if you think about it, is affected. You know, I mean,
6.
Yeah, 6. The other parent.
Yeah. Well, 7. If you really think about both parents, the mother and the father of that 9-year-old girl.
Right.
The mother and father of those, they probably, I'm assuming they're the same father of those 2 teenage.
Well, I think it's the same mother, different fathers.
But either way, then that means more people because now there's 2 teenage boys who's probably going to spend the rest of their lives in prison.
Mm-hmm.
The third party who got involved, his
mm-hmm.
life is messed up, so his parents got to deal with that in his family.
Right.
The 9-year-old girl, who's the ultimate victim in all of this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna call him a victim. I guess by law he's going to be a victim because he passed away out of a crime. But I don't, you know, I'm gonna tread lightly on that because I don't, you know, he's a monster.
Right.
He's a monster.
Right.
But by law, they're gonna call him a victim.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it's a lot of lives that got affected by a bad choice from one monster.
Right. And I will say this. I know you're gonna get some people say, well, you know, they shouldn't have beat him like 3 times. When you in something,
you in it.
You in it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's hard to get out of it because you on 10.
Especially when you're in that rage.
You're in that rage, like you on 10. And there's no one there to say, yeah, you calm this down. All 3 of y'all on 10. There's no one else there to calm you down.
Yeah.
You in it.
You in it.
I mean, you know, and it might not even hit them to the next day. And we just killed somebody. Or, you know, we just dumped them in there. You might not hit them today. So that is going to affect them too. They're going to still have to live with that. Because if you have never taken nobody's life, and to take someone's life, you know, that affects you.
That affects your mental.
It affects even, you know, they even talk, you hear people who have killed, you know, like who've killed people, like maybe they're talking about hitmen or even police officers who had righteous kills. I ain't talking about just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and they kill people, or people who in the military had to kill people. And they've had, you know, the first kill is no different than the 30th kill.
Yeah.
Because it still affects you.
Yeah.
And they say if it affects you, that's a good thing.
Mm.
When it don't affect you, that's when it's a bad thing. That's when it's a problem.
There's no humanity left in you.
No humanity left in you. You can just take a life. Yeah. So, you know, if these 3 teenagers have any kind of humanity, this is affecting them too.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know, but go ahead.
No, it's just the law by letter of the law. It's I'm not saying it's unfair, but sometimes with the law, they leave no they leave no gray area in it. If that makes sense. It's pretty black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like we said earlier, man, just because they, you know, second and third beatings and then finally leave them out for dead, that's what's going to get them into trouble. But
that's going to get them in trouble, man.
It sucks because they're doing a good deed. If you really think about it, they're protecting their 9-year-old sister, as they should, as you should be protecting your young children in your family. You should.
You should.
But
you should. I mean, it's one of these things. It's one of these touchy subjects, man. It is. Because if you a person who believes in not taking a life,
Yeah.
or you believe in being law abiding, you know, so then you go into the situation, you have to make a split decision what you're gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and not doing anything sometimes just as bad as doing something, because you have to live with that for the rest of your life that you never did anything,
Yeah.
you know, and this man is still going free. He's still living his life. Maybe if if he's out of your house, he's in somebody else's house doing the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
being a repeat offender. So, or if he gets in jail, he's not serving no life sentence for it. The law's not gonna put him in jail for life. He's not. The law's not gonna. I mean, the jail, the prison system, the penal system is not gonna, quote unquote, rehabilitate him.
Yeah.
So then, say he does 5 years. Is 5 years compatible to taking this child's innocence, who may never recover? May never have a meaningful relationship because that's been happening to her. Who
And
may
she's 9 year old, so
nine,
she's at that stage where you start learning about some of the ways of the world,
right,
and so now that leaves a bad impression on how wicked the world is, and she has to carry that to her teenage years, to her
right,
young adulthood, and
mm-hmm,
possibly further on when she's an adult. She has to carry
right.
that burden
She has to carry that, man.
now. Yeah.
And here's another caveat: what if she gets pregnant?
Mm.
That's another issue you have to deal with, because if you carry the term, that's a stress on a 9-year-old's body. If you terminate it, that's a stress on a 9-year-old's body. Anywhere it go, there's no good way out if that part happens.
Now, there's no good outcome in that.
It's not outcome. So what they did by law was wrong,
Yeah.
but
But
morally,
morality,
I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean,
it
yeah,
seemed a little justified to me.
he deserved
Morally.
it again.
Hey.
I mean, I would say, I mean, I don't know, man.
Now, I already said it. People might not agree with what I said, but morally, for me, he
Mm-hmm.
got what was coming to him. He's a
Right.
dirtbag. He's a
It's a dirtbag.
shitbag.
Right.
There's no other way around it. That's what I'm saying. Legally, they gonna call him a victim. I don't see it
Mm-hmm.
that way. He's a dirtbag.
Yeah. And it's easy to say, oh, you shouldn't do that until it happens to your child.
Yeah,
That's why I say a lot of people.
it'll change that tone real quick.
Yeah,
It'll change
you
that
might
tone real
you may
quick.
see a whole different story to happen to your
Yeah,
child. And I'm not saying that to be mean or whatever. I'm just saying it's easy to make these judgments,
or what you would or wouldn't do.
what you would or wouldn't do. But that's shocking when it comes to your doorstep.
Yeah,
Here's a good example too, and we get ready to wrap this up. You can console somebody who lost a parent, but your parent's still living.
mm-hmm.
So you can say, hey, it's gonna be okay. You'll get over it. Blah blah blah. Or whatever the term you may use. You know, but you don't really understand what they're feeling
So you've been in that
until it happens to
situation.
you.
Yep.
And then it clicks. Oh wow, I see what I said to them was totally wrong. I shouldn't have said that. You
Yeah.
know, same thing with this. It's easy to say, oh, you shouldn't retaliate. Let the law handle it, and then it comes knocking at your door.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, but there's long history of the law failing people. So
right? That's another thing too, bro.
yeah.
Like,
We'll save that for another episode, but
right,
but no, we didn't want to hold y'all too long here. We
right.
just Mel came across the story, and hey, it's I think it's a very polarizing topic.
It
Um,
is
so
capital
please,
punishment.
yeah, that's what they're getting charged for too.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, y'all jump in the comments, give us y'all take your thoughts and feelings of it. Hey, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe button, that bell, hit that
Right.
bell. Make sure you subscribe to the
Ding.
Alpha and Wonder YouTube page, and keep supporting us. And you see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Go
Right,
get
right.
that app. Go
Go
get
get
that
that
app.
out. Go get
But
that
it,
out.
but until next time, folks, it's your boy Wildcard Mar, Detroit Mel. We signing off. It's been real.
Peace.